Now, when I go to print this thing out, everything will be in nice columns and nice rows, but it's not really going to look like a spreadsheet. Now you can see all of the vertical and horizontal lines that divide the cells, but that's not going to show up in my document when I go to print it out, okay? And so let me show you here. We'll go to File, and we'll go to Print, and as you can see from the document that comes up right here, you know, there's no lines. It's just not there. Okay, so what do we do? How do we get some lines on there? Because it's always good to have nice lines in our table. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add those lines. So first of all, I'm going to highlight the area. Now, if I want to highlight the whole book, I click there, but there's going to be a lot more lines than I want to deal with. So I just want to put the lines and the borders around my information. So look, I've selected this whole set of information. All right, right up here, there is a box, okay, and it says borders. So I can select with that box the things that I need to make lines and divisions through my spreadsheet. So this little symbol right here will do all borders. I click on that and boom, all of a sudden I've got borders. And how is that border going to look on my document when I go to print it out? Well, let's take a look. File, Print, and there you can see I've got borders around all of my information. That looks pretty nice. Okay, beautiful. This would be a good place to save, so I'm going to hit the save button because we save often. That's the right thing to do. That way, if something bad happens, we're not going to lose all our information. All right. Well, let's make it a little bit more jazzy. All right. There's some things you can do. So let's say I want a thicker border around the entire table. So I come up here again. I select the borders. And there's a button right down here that shows that thicker border. And I can click on that, and I've got this thicker border around my table. And, you know, okay, let's go ahead and put a thicker border around my headers just to kind of separate them a little bit. All right? Beautiful, beautiful. And let's say, hey, I want to add a little bit of color to my headers to kind of, you know, show them off a little bit. So I can highlight them, and that's where I've got this little fill bucket here. See, it says fill color. So I can click on this to select a color. Now, is my document, am I going to print it off in a color printer? Am I going to print it off in black and white? Hard to say. So I can go ahead and select a color. So now I've got yellow as a background, or I can select a hint of gray. And it's just enough to touch it off a little bit, okay? Now, it doesn't look like there's much of a difference, but there is. Maybe we can just add a little bit darker tint to it to make it stand out a little bit more. So there you can see I've got my headers highlighted off a little bit. You know, good looking document. Beautiful.